difficulties.
The book of James, chapter 1 and verse 25.
Read Deuteronomy 4 and verse 9 before we go to James. Finish that. I'll lock her out.
God, Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 9.
Go ahead.
Go from the top.
Yeah.
Verse 9. Only take heed to thyself.
Come on.
And keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen.
So that's the whole point, that when we stay diligent, we don't want to forget what our eyes have seen. Go ahead.
And lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life.
Read.
But teach them thy sons.
Uh-huh.
And thy sons' sons.
Right. See, that's the problem with not being diligent. You forget. Read where you at. James 1:25.
James chapter 1 and verse 25. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty.
Go ahead.
And continueth therein.
And he does what?
Continueth therein.
Yeah, when you continue, that means you're being constant. Go ahead.
He being not a forgetful hearer.
Right. This was the whole point, where if I'm continuing therein, if I'm constantly doing it, if I'm being diligent, I'm not going to forget. I'm not going to be a forgetful hearer. Why is a person a forgetful hearer? Because you hear it, then you forget to go do it.
Right. No application.
Yeah, there's no application there. Go ahead.
But a doer of the word.
Go ahead.
This man shall be blessed in his deed.
Go to 2 Peter 1 and verse 10.
God, 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 10.
Go ahead.
Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure.
Wait, do what?
Give diligence to make your calling and election sure.
This is our whole job, is to make sure that we're giving diligence to make our calling. We got to give diligence that when the man that called us, we got to make that sure. You don't want to be called and just get shot in the face. Oh, you're up next. You step up to the plate, get hit, and you just down, you done. You want to make sure that your calling was worth something, that your election, you were chosen from the foundation of the world, right? You want to make sure that that got something, that means something. You didn't want to be chosen to be destroyed. You wanted to be chosen to make it to the kingdom. So how do you got to do it? Read it from the top.
Verse 10. Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure.
Go ahead.
For if you do these things, ye shall never fail.
Right. If you're constantly being a doer, if you're constantly taking heed to yourself, we'll never fail. Because you'll never fall. Yeah, you'll never fall. You'll never fall into that mischief.
That's right.
You'll never fall into that condemnation. Why? Because I'm constantly working. I'm constantly doing. I'm being diligent to my goings. I'm looking. I'm reproving. I'm checking. I'm fixing. I'm upholding. Constantly. I'm not getting tired. I'm not being idle-minded. Idle hands. Proverbs 4:23. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23.
Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23.
This is why it's important to stay diligent. Because there's a reward in that. Read.
Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23.
Uh-huh.
Keep thy heart with all diligence.
Keep thy heart with all what?
Diligence.
With all laziness.
With all diligence.
With all, I'm just on autopilot and I'm just here.
All diligence.
Go ahead.
For out of it are the issues of life.
Right. Y'all know what that means? That if I focus my mind on the goal, the issues that are meant to befall me, they won't. Where, perfect example is this. If I know that I'm available for class Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right?
Right.
And the diligent thing to do is what? Show up Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Because I'm available. Mm-hmm. Right? I got nothing to do. There ain't no kids. There's nothing. I'm available. I'm off work. I can be there. I'm going to stay diligent in that. Why? Because as soon as I let my mind sway, what am I going to be doing? Friday night, I might hit the club. Right? This night, I might be dealing with some madness that I don't have to deal with if I was in class. I went over here, happy hour at the bar. Next thing you know, it's 10:30. I done drank half the bar. Now I got issues. Now I'm fighting with people at the bar. Or I'm over here fighting with this woman. Or I'm over here fighting with this guy. Or I'm dealing with this, and I'm in this situation. Where if I just stay diligent in coming to class, I'm available. I want you to hear what I'm saying. If I stay diligent in my work, then the issues in life, they're not gonna touch me. Why? I'm not entangling myself with the affairs of this life. See how it all comes right back? Go ahead. Where you at? Go to James 1:14. See, these are the issues of life.
James chapter 1 verse 14.
Uh-huh.
James chapter 1 verse 14.
Go ahead.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed.
See, the issues of life are meant to tempt you and draw you away. But if I keep my mind diligent, my heart diligent on my work, I'm not going to be tempted to chase after the fat booty or chase after the drink or chase after money. I'm not going to be tempted into these things. Why? Because I'm keeping my mind diligent on the path, on the goal. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin.
Right, because that's how, y'all got to understand, like sin just doesn't happen. You got to think it, let it conceive, and then now you're in sin. Yeah. You don't just, if you got a cigarette problem, you don't just think a cigarette and it's in your mouth, lit. Nah, you got to go, think about it. Damn, I want one. Oop. Feed into the urge. Oop. Damn, that nicotine's going to make me feel so good. You got to get up in the car, get to the store, get the pack. How you smokers do it. Y'all smacking the pack, right? Pack, what do you call it? Packing the nicotine? Packing it?
Waking up to cancer.
Yeah, you wake up. Yeah, he said waking up to cancer. I've never heard that. You waking up to cancer.
Wake it up.
Right? You do all of it's a whole process before you put that cigarette in your mouth and light it. Because why? You're letting that lust conceive. But if I keep my mind diligent on a goal, on something righteous, if I say, you know what, I know I got a problem, I'm trying to fight it, let me be diligent in counseling with a brother when the urge comes up. Let me stay diligent on that, because every time I did counsel, when I felt my urge, guess what? I hopped on the phone, talked to a brother, he switched that spirit off me. But as soon as you say, you know what, I ain't going to do that today. I feel the urge, the nicotine. I want my food to digest better, however, whatever excuses the smokers use. Yeah. Right? You let that urge hit, and instead of being diligent and being constant on what you've been doing, you do the total opposite, and you fall into that sin. See, these are the issues of life, where a diligent mind, you ain't got to deal with a lot of the things that happen in life, man. Y'all get that, right?
Done.
Go to Hebrews. Go to Hebrews 11:6.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. But without faith it is impossible to please him.
Go ahead.
For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is. And that he is a rewarder of them that diligently.
That do what?
Diligently.
See, the only way the Most High rewards us is through our what?
Diligently.
Go ahead.
Seek him.
Yeah, a lot of us, again, we're here. We're like, yeah, I'm doing the will. I'm doing the will of the Most High. I'm here. I've did Romans 12:1. I presented myself as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable. I'm wearing my head wrap. I'm shaloming. I'm saluting. Right? I'm being humble. But are you doing it diligently? Are you doing it consistently? Or are you doing it sometimes? Are you the punch clock Israelite? You punch that time, put my time in for the Most High. Now I'm going to go do me. Put my time in. I put them 3 hours in class. Time to go be wicked. I'm going to follow my own thoughts. Right? You got to think about it. But it goes back to what I was saying earlier, where there should never be a separation between your life and the truth. Your life, you should ingrain in you the thought that this is my life. This is my life, and I'm going to use the knowledge to get through it. You should never have a separation. Read it from the top.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6.
Go ahead.
For without faith, it is impossible to please him.
Go ahead. So, and we know that. You got to have faith coupled with a lot of different things to please the Most High. Well, you definitely got to have faith first and foremost. But we have that. That's why we all sitting here. That's why we've been sitting here class after class, year after year. Because the faith. The faith in what? That I keep sitting in class, I'm going to grow. I'm going to build my masteries, my attributes. I'm not going to be the same person I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 months ago. I'm getting better. Go ahead.
For without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is.
Read.
And that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Yeah, this is the only way to get the reward. This is the only way that you might receive the promise. It got to be a diligent seeking of him. There's a reward in diligence. Go to 2nd Ezra 13 and 54. I know I sped up a little bit.
2nd Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 54.
Go ahead.
For thou hast forsaken thine own way.
Wait, what are we supposed to do?
Forsaken thine own way.
See, a lot of us still want to hold on to our own way, and that's where the diligence is hindered. Because the old man was lazy. The old man was a procrastinator. The old man didn't do things right away. The old man didn't see the importance of doing things the right way and checking and triple checking. But we got to do what? Read it again.
For thou hast forsaken thine own way.
Go ahead.
And applied thy diligence unto my law.
Read.
And sought it.
Read verse 55.
Thy life hast thou ordered in wisdom.
You see that? It's about ordering your life in wisdom. This is how we do it. But we got to be diligent in that. It's not just about, I'm going to set my house in order one time. Oh, I did that. Well, bro, that's a constant thing. You got to constantly be reproving. Like we talked about earlier, right? The seasons.
Good.
Right? Go ahead.
And has called understanding thy mother.
Right. So that's what it's about. So what happens when we stop being diligent? 2 Peter 3:17. 2 Peter 3:17. This is what happens when we stop being diligent.
Come on, 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 17. For ye therefore, beloved, seeing ye know these things before, beware, lest ye also, being led away.
Beware us what?
Beware, lest ye also, being led away.
Come on.
With the error of the wicked.
Right. See, how do you get led away by the error of the wicked? Well, being idle. Looking at what the wicked are doing and saying, damn, I wish I was doing that. I wonder how that feels. Wonder how that tastes. Wonder what that looks like. That idle mind, the curiosity, killed the cat. Being led away with the wicked, we shouldn't be sitting there thinking like, damn, why this and why that? And how do I get it like they get it? We don't want to slip like David almost slipped. We want to stay on the job. We want to abide in our own labor. We want to stay diligent. Go ahead.
Fall from your own steadfastness.
Fall from your own what?
Steadfastness.
Yeah, we don't want to fall from our own steadfastness. What's the point? 1 minute you steadfast, diligent, in there, locked in. The next minute, somebody rolls by with a nice car and you're like, damn, I wonder, how come I can't have the Bentley? It shouldn't be that easy to sway us. It'd be like that for some reason. You had brothers in the past, man, that, we had to tell them, like, man, stop watching certain TV shows. They be watching, like, Cribs. Start getting covered. Yeah. Like, man, how come we can't get that? It ain't for you to have. You got that, just not as big and illustrious. You have it, it's just not as shiny and new. A crib is a crib. A vehicle's a vehicle.
And I got to that point the other day because, like, I'm a vehicle fanatic. I switch cars like no other. And
Car?
the spirit, but not the spirit that we use,
Right.
The wicked spirit, I always try to put that on me, even like on my way here tonight. A nice little artist jumped in front of me, and I felt my eyes like kind of like zoning in on the artist. I was like, man, fuck that.
And you like, I need that.
You know, and it try to get you like that though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like the demons, they know what you want. They know what you like. You know what I'm saying? So when you, like you say, we gotta be constant in our diligence, because if you're not, like you just said, a simple slip, just something simple as that. You know, I have you going out the path to go chase after something.
You be right in that dealership, bending over for that Audi. And it's like, well, you got to come with $1,500 down payment. Next thing you know, you robbing and stealing to get the Audi. How you think it goes, man? What's up?
You was talking about a delicious at the grocery store. It goes so far as you'll save up all your money and spend your last just to get that. And
yeah.
You can't even like, I mean, the word I did that with a Cadillac. I saved a bunch of money for a down payment. I only had like $200 to last me to the next paycheck, but I was riding fly.
You was riding clean.
So.
and I gotta say it, there's nothing wrong with having a car or multiple cars, or nothing wrong with that, but by what means are you trying to attain it? And is it in the will of the Most High for you to have it? Because we go outside of the will to get what we want. It's like, I need a car. Well, if it's in the will of the Most High for you to have a car, you'll have one. I came down here with 2 cars. Both broke down. I ain't had no car for a minute. Most High was like, they opened up a door for me to get a car. I didn't have to go to no dealership, nothing. Got a car. But I wasn't sitting there chasing. And there was and listen, there was a car that I wanted. I didn't get the car that I wanted, but I got a car. Right? I know what car I wanted. And to get it, somebody would probably have to die. Nah, it ain't that expensive. It's just a little Toyota. But the point is this: I didn't get a car and then get all upset. Like, see, the Most High ain't with me. He didn't give me the car I wanted. I can't be in the truth no more. Like, I'm like, damn, okay, Rocket Yahweh, this is the easiest car I ever got. I remember when I got down here, I needed a place to live. That was the easiest house I ever got. I was like, damn, I ain't never moved into a house this easy. I ain't never moved from one place to another that easy. Just showed up, looked at it, I want it. Okay, write a check, boom. No credit check, no background, no nothing. I was like, wow. But the Most High knew that I needed it. It was in the will. I didn't have to force it, rush it, stretch it. I didn't have to do anything but do my job. Examine myself, keep myself diligent. That's all I had to do was know that, you know what, house or no house. If I'm in a brother's room, because that's where I was at before I got that house. I was living with a brother. 4 of us in one bedroom, in one room. But guess what? I said, no matter what, if I'm 4 people in one room, or I got this big ass 3-bedroom house, I'm gonna still be doing the same thing. I didn't let the house change what my job role became. The house didn't change where it's like, now I got this big crib, guess what? I'm gonna sit up in the AC all day and kick it and watch Netflix. No, I got the big house and I was still never there. Was never home to even enjoy it. That's why the Most High was like, here, you're not gonna use it, abuse it. You're not gonna just sit up in it and act like it, you know, you the king. That it was in the will. The Most High knew my intent behind wanting that particular house. So we got to understand that. Read that again. Read 2 Peter 3:17.
Ye therefore, beloved, seeing ye have these things before, beware, lest ye also, being led away with the error of the wicked, fall from your own steadfastness.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to do that. We don't want to fall from our own consistency and our own diligence. 1 Corinthians 15:58. 1 Corinthians 15:58.
1 Corinthians.
Go ahead, bro.
Anybody?
1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58.
Therefore,
my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast.
Be ye what?
Steadfast.
Go ahead.
Unmovable.
Tossed to and fro.
Unmovable.
Like a child, I'm tossed.
Unmovable.
Go ahead.
Always abounding.
Always what?
Abounding.
Always withering away.
Abounding.
Well, I don't know why I ain't growing.
Abounding.
Always growing. Go ahead.
In the work.
In the what?
In the work.
In the what?
In the work.
Read.
Of the Most High.
Come on.
For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Most High.
And this is what we got to understand, that our labor is not in vain. We got to constantly be abounding in the work. It isn't sitting around. It isn't in the kick it mode in the feast days. It said in the work. Go to 1 Ezra 8:21. First Ezra 8 verse 21. So we're hitting on when we stop being diligent.
First Ezra chapter 8 and verse 21.
Go ahead.
Let all things be performed after the law of Yahweh diligently.
Come on.
Unto the most high power.
Unto who?
The most high power.
Come on.
The wrath come.
That wrath come.
That wrath come not upon the kingdom of the king and his son.
Right. This is how we prevent that wrath of the Most High. That we perform things diligently unto the Most High. We're consistent. We're steadfast. We're rooted. We're unmovable. Why do you think brothers and sisters go through so much calamity? Because you toss, man, and you double-minded. You toss and double-minded, and the Most High is trying to use what you're going through to help you grow. But instead, what are you doing? You're just falling into the temptation. You fall to the battle. You get caught up in the war. Read it again.
Good. Let all things be performed after the law of Yahweh. Diligently.
Read.
Unto the most high power.
Come on.
That wrath come not upon the kingdom of the king and his son.
Proverbs 10 and verse 4.
Good.
Proverbs 10 and verse 4.
Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 4. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand.
Yeah, see, we can't just be slackers, man. We can't slack off. Again, we got to be like Titus, where he began steadfast and consistent and ended steadfast, consistent. We got to be like Paul. We got to fight the fight. We got to run as one. We got to run like we're trying to win this race, not as one that beateth the air. You start now fighting, and next thing you know, you're just shadow boxing. We got to be consistent in our battle, in our walk. You got to walk the same way. You got to walk it like you're talking.
Yeah, man,
walk
it's like
talking. Walk it like you're talking.
You know, a lot of marathon runners, man.
Keep talking.
You know, a lot of marathon runners, or not even marathon runners. Say you do like a 3-mile race. We got a couple military individuals in here. Whenever you used to run that 3 miles, a lot of times some people, they ran that race like they didn't know how to run it, man. They would just sprint at the beginning, not knowing that they had to endure through the whole race to make it into the end. And it's the same thing doing this work, man. It's almost like you have to already pre-game and understand that this is for a longevity marathon, man. It's a longevity race that we're in. You have to set your mind right, understanding that you will be going through some things that will be exhausting or that would exhaust you, but you got to push through it. Just like you were saying about enduring earlier in class.
Yeah.
That you have to endure.
But that's why it says the race is not to the swift, to the speedy, but he that endureth unto the end. And it's not about how fast you can run, it's about how consistent you can run. It's about how you keep a good pace. Read it again, Proverbs 10 and verse 4.
Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 4. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand.
This is how you get poor. This is how you get broke. Because you let your hands slack. You start slacking in your business. You start sleeping in a little bit more. You start putting off the responsibilities on everybody else. Go ahead.
But the hand of the diligent,
but the man that's consistent,
make it rich.
The man that's consistent is going to be rich. Proverbs 12 and verse 24.
Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 24. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule.
Go ahead.
But the slothful shall be under tribute.
Yeah, the hand of the diligent is going to be the ruler. The man that is consistent in his business, he's going to bear rule. Why? Because he's not slacking off. He's handling business. He's taking care of things. He's making sure his house is good. He's setting things right. Not waiting till next week. Not waiting for everything to implode. He's not waiting for his rib to just blow up, waiting for her to just leave, and then he's going to fix it. No. He's constantly reproving, constantly fixing, constantly upholding. Go ahead.
Verse 25.
Go to Proverbs 13:4.
Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 4.
You know I was going there, huh?
The soul of the sluggard desireth, and hath nothing.
Why? Because a sluggard is lazy. He ain't even going to feed his own self like the scriptures say. Go ahead.
But the soul of the diligent shall be made fat.
Why? Because a diligent man is always going out and seeing, how can I get more? How can I attain? How can I be better? He's checking. He's being careful. A lot of brothers ain't diligent, man. They're not prudent. They're not prudent. They're not looking well to their going. You're just looking at what's in front of you.
Yeah, and a lot of times you walk around just aimlessly, man. Like you just airheaded.
No vision.
Like the scripture says in Daniel 7:18 says, the saints of the Most High is going to take the kingdom. But when it says take the kingdom, that means that you're literally executing a plan. You, in your mind, already understand how you're going to do this. The Most High has given you the attributes, the skills. But when it says, where you at?
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 4. The soul of the sluggard desireth.
Yeah, you desire, you want, you got all these ambitions, read.
And hath nothing.
Yeah, because you ain't taking nothing. You thinking that everything's going to be given to you. Listen, the black man, Hispanic man, Native American, everybody just want everything given to them. Like, nigga, I deserve this. No, you don't. You didn't work. Like, listen, you didn't even pick up a shovel to throw the dog boo-boo over the fence. How do you expect your grass to be on point? You didn't put the work in to clean it up. You know, but that's how we've been programmed. America, listen, it's easy to fill out an application online and to get free food, to get free money. But the Most High requires more than that. He requires your spirit. He requires you to actually put in some spiritual work into the things that you need to succeed and to grow. Read.
But the soul of the diligent shall be made fat.
Yeah, the soul of the diligent. Diligent in what though? We're not diligent in like Pokemon. You playing Pokemon Go in the car. That's easy. You over here on Snapchat, Instagram, talking, walking, taking pictures. That's easy. But what about literally excavating your spirit and seeing what's good for you, man?
Well, that's why it goes back to that first Ezra 8:21. Let all things be performed after the law of the Most High diligently. Unto the Most High God, so that the wrath don't hit us. So that's what it's about. Yeah. Being diligent in the law. Being diligent, yes, in building your spirit, building your soul, building your tabernacle. Where we at?
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 4.
Jump down to Colossians 2 and verse 5. So how do we stay diligent? We got 20 minutes, so let's knock it out. A few more scriptures. So how do we stay diligent?
Good. Colossians chapter 2 and verse 5.
Come on.
For though I be absent in the flesh, yet am I with you in the spirit.
Go ahead.
Joying and beholding your order and the steadfastness of your faith in Christ.
You see that? Beholding your order and steadfastness.
Right.
But how did you get the order and steadfastness? Read.
Good. As ye have therefore received Hamashiach Yahushua, the Master, so walk ye in him.
So do what?
Walk ye in him.
Go ahead.
Rooted.
What?
Rooted.
Read.
And built up in him. And is established in the faith.
Go ahead.
As ye have been taught.
As ye have been what?
Have been taught.
Wait, but I don't know how to do that.
Have been taught.
See, there's a teaching that has been happening where you're being shown diligence daily. You're being shown consistency daily. Just even in the little things where we said it earlier about class. When's the last time we canceled class just for any old reason? Because we was like, you know what, we just want to be lazy today. But guess what? We canceled class 2 weeks ago for the feast? We've been doing that every year for the last 15 years. So it's the same. Move over a little bit. Oh, it's all good. Yeah, y'all see that, right?
Good.
Read it from verse 7.
Rooted. And built up in him.
Go ahead.
And established in the faith.
Come on.
As ye have been taught.
See, we've been taught. Read.
Abounding therein with thanksgiving.
Wait, see, we've been taught how to do that. We've been taught how to abound and be thankful.
Right.
Read on.
Beware, lest any man spoil you.
What's he gonna spoil you with?
Through philosophy.
He's gonna spoil you with, man, why you so thankful for going through it? He's gonna spoil you with, see, you ain't gotta go through that. You ain't gotta deal with that. He gonna spoil you with, oh man, let's come over here and just kick it. Let's play video games. He's gonna spoil you out of your diligence, out of your steadfastness. Go ahead.
And vain deceit.
And what?
Vain deceit.
Come on.
After the tradition of men.
Read.
After the rudiments of the world.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you over here at class, you trying to be diligent, you trying to get your spirit right, and you got your family pulling you out of class. Talking about come be with us because they ain't teaching you right. But then when you need something, they ain't there for you. The same ones that pulled you out of class, pulled you out of the spiritual growth. Now when you got all the damn demons on you, they're not there to give you the wisdom to say, you know what? Let us help you.
They ain't gonna give you no wisdom, no charity, no love.
None of it. But they sure as hell pulled you out of class and said, follow our traditions, follow our rudiments. They uprooted you back into the world. You got spoiled by vain deceit. Yeah, it's better over here. The grass is greener on the other side. Yay! They didn't tell you how they was fertilizing that grass. Right. They didn't tell you that. They just told you that it was green. And they made your brown grass look like you don't belong in that. It's sad, man. Go to Ecclesiastes 2 verse 2. Finish verse 8. Jeremiah.
Good. And not after Yahushua.
Right. See, that's the whole point. Not after Yahushua. So, what is it that Yahushua taught us? What is it that all the founding fathers, Moses, Noah, what is it that they taught us? They're all the examples of diligence. And not just being diligent because it's easy. They were diligent in the hardest of hard times. Come on, man, think about Abraham. When the Most High told him to pick up and go to this land and go here and go here. What, you think it was just him and his wife? No. He had people, man. He had men with him. He had a house.
He had 300 trained servants. And then their families.
And then their families.
And their flocks.
Think about the diligence it took to say, you know what? I'm going to get everybody's mind right. Keep everybody's mind right. We taking this journey. Right. Think about Abraham's own steadfastness that was on display. Why do you think they moved the way he moved? Because he was their example. Right. Think about Noah and the 8 that he saved, or the 7 that he saved. Think about Moses and all the children of Israel that he ended up saving through his what? His diligence. But he gave the example of how to not be tossed to and fro, how to not be scary as hell, how to not be faint-hearted. Moses was the example of all that. How when we go to war, we're going to war. I ain't going to be scared. He was the example. Go ahead. Where you at?
Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 2.
Come on.
Set thy heart aright.
Do what?
Set thy heart aright.
Go ahead.
And constantly endure.
And do what?
Constantly endure.
See, it's about sometimes enduring.
Constantly endure.
Well, I can only endure if my husband's around.
Constantly endure.
It's about constantly enduring through all trials and tribulations. I know y'all, that's easier said than done, brother. You don't know what I'm going through. Right. You don't know what I'm dealing with. It says no temptation that's taking you is uncommon to man. So what you went through, you ain't the only one. You ain't the first one. You ain't the last one. And just because I didn't go through it yet, don't mean I'm not going through it. I might be going through a higher level of it or a lower level of it, but it's not uncommon. It's not foreign. So it says what? Read it again.
Set thy heart aright.
Go ahead.
And constantly endure.
Come on.
And make not haste in the time of trouble.
Yeah. Our problem is we get too frantic in the time of trouble. Yep. We get impatient in the time of trouble. And I jumped, but go back to Hebrews 10:35.
Yeah, it's like you get in that fight. You get in that fight with somebody. You train in everything. You get punched in the face with things. You're like, oh God, you forget everything.
Yeah,
you start doing the hurricane punches.
Yeah, you were trained. You went to martial arts school and you learned. I'm gonna throw a punch down the middle.
Right.
Boom. Cause that's the shortest distance. It won't get blocked that way. You get into the battle, you get hit in the face, and what happens? You start throwing the haymakers.
You resort back to the old man. To the old,
yeah, you lose your training. You forget all your whole training that was supposed to keep you. It's no different than you come into the truth, you get the basic foundational scriptures on how to keep your mind right. And then as soon as you get attacked, what happens? You throw the whole Bible out the door.
Right.
Sisters be sitting there talking about, I'm humble, I'm this, I'm that, I'm meek, I'm mild. And then it's like, okay, let's test that. And then what happens is your husband checks you, and then all of a sudden it's like, screw the Bible. Get your Bible. What Bible? Yeah. What Bible, nigga? What Bible, nigga? Right?
You're just gonna justify yourself.
All you gonna do is justify, talk bad. No. Let's go back to we're gonna go back to the basics. That's what it's about. Same thing with brothers, man. Brothers get all emotional. You try to show them scriptures, he's like, nigga, I ain't hearing that.
Right.
But what about the basics? But you're willing to hear that when it comes to your rib. But what about you? It's about the basics. Read that again. Ecclesiastes 2 and 2.
Oh, slap.
Set
thy heart aright.
Read.
And constantly endure.
Go ahead.
Make not haste in the time of trouble.
Go back to Hebrews 10 and verse 35.
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 35.
Cast not away therefore your confidence.
Right.
Which had great recompense of reward.
Right. We gotta, in the time of trouble, not cast away the confidence that's gonna reward us. Cast away the confidence that's gonna save us. Go ahead.
For ye have need of patience.
Because this is what it's saying. In the time of haste, have patience. Go ahead.
That after ye have done the will of Yahweh.
Go ahead.
Ye might receive the promise.
Check this out. Read verse 37.
For yet a little while. And he that shall come will come.
Right. And this will be the problem where we lose the diligence, because we're like, well, man, if Christ don't get here soon, I don't know how I'm going to make it. I mean, you know, they've been saying that, like, that's how the wicked get you, though. The wicked, they're like, y'all niggas been waiting on Christ since he died. And it's like, well, yeah, you're right, we have. But then they try to use that to say, see, well, what's the point of you holding fast to that which is good? What's the point of you being diligent? You don't know when he's going to come.
Right.
Live how you want.
Where's your safe at?
It's so stupid, too, because I have that same friend here said the same thing to me. Man, they've been saying that since my granny was coming up, that he's coming back soon. I said, that means he's close. It's closer than it's like.
Closer than what it was. That's why it says your salvation is nearer than you know, nearer than you believe. But see, the wicked, they're like, nigga, y'all been waiting on that for 4,000 years. Right. So guess what?
We getting A-Rad money. Yeah, they just wilding.
Shots, all that. We on a boat, all that. But us, we're doing what? We're like Noah. We're going to build that ark for 110 years and not even see a dripper ring. Nobody in here ever even seen Christ. But guess what? We're going to be diligent in the belief that when he shows up, we want to be accepted.
That's right.
Read on.
And will not tarry.
Galatians 6 and verse 9. Galatians 6 and verse 9. See, we gotta stop looking at the things that we do like it don't mean nothing. Because the work that we put into the Most High's name, it means something. Somebody give me that one. The Most High is not unrighteous to forget your labor and love. Somebody give me that. I keep saying it. Where you? Go ahead, read. Read where you at.
Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9. Let us not be weary in well-doing.
Because aren't we doing good?
Good.
Unless we doing it for the wrong reason.
Right.
But why do you think I don't get weary? No matter what trials, tribulations come. I'm just like, man, let's just keep moving forward. Why do you think Kazaki hasn't gotten weary in 30 years? Why? Because he knows that what he's doing is good.
Well, that's why, because the scripture says, thinking not strange the fiery trial.
Right.
Don't try your faith. We know it's coming.
We know it's coming.
Just when is it coming?
When is it coming?
And how?
Right. And what am I suffering for?
Right.
Am I suffering as a murderer, an idolater? Or am I suffering as a servant, minister of the Most High?
Right.
See, I don't want to suffer as the idolater, the whoremonger. No. I'll rather suffer and do the will and do the well-doing and suffer that way, suffer for righteousness' sake, like it says.
Right.
Right? Read on.
For in due season,
Uh-huh.
we shall
Wait,
reap.
it says when?
For in due season.
Wait, when we think we should.
In due season.
Nigga, well, I want it now.
In due season.
Wait, that ain't happened yet?
In due season.
But I've been here 2 years doing this.
In due season.
Come on.
We shall reap.
Yeah, you'll reap when the Most High say it's time. One man will plant, one man water, the Most High give the increase. You'll reap when the Most High says it's reaping time. Not because you think it's time. So what does that mean? Stay diligent. Keep your eye on the prize. Stop looking for the... You know what the problem is this? I just said keep your eye on the prize, right? But at the same time, stop looking for the prize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that?
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification, but also I'm doing it because I'm doing it for a reason.
Good.
Other than getting myself right. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. I'm owed something. We gotta stop doing things in the mentality I'm owed something. Nigga, you owe. For a year I bought with a price. Somebody give me that one.
You in debt.
You in debt. Somebody spilled their blood for you. You have not suffered unto blood striving against sin. So what do you got to give up? Romans 12:1, that body and that mind. So you owe. We owe, man. So we got to stop when we put in our works, think that, oh, well, yeah, you know, Yahweh, I gave, so I'm owed something. Nah, bro, you're supposed to just give. You're supposed to give, you're supposed to do, and not think like, well, if I do this, then in 7 days, the Most High will bless me this way, and he'll increase me here. If you're thinking like that, now you see why brothers be falling off and sisters be falling off, because you're thinking about how you're going to come up, and then you don't.
Yeah, that's like in church, you know, you sow your seed of $1,000, and then and the Most High is gonna bless you with $10,000.
Yeah, buy the prayer cloth, all that nonsense, man. Listen, it's not about gain. It says contentment with godliness is gain.
Right.
The wicked thing is about, oh, if you get it, then the Most High is with you. It's not about that. We shouldn't be doing things for constraint or for filthy lucre. It also says we shouldn't do things out of necessity. Like, oh, y'all need me here. Y'all need me to do this. No. You got to be doing it at the free will of your own mind. The Most High blesses that. He don't bless, well, I'm doing this because you need it, or I'm doing this because I'm trying to sow a seed.
Right.
I'm trying to pad my stats with the Most High. So if I give $1, Most High, if I give a prophet a cup of water, then the Most High is going to bless me.
That's what the scripture
That's
says.
what the Bible says, right?
Yeah, but your mind is off.
What's your intent? Like we went through the other day, the intent of the heart.
Right.
What is your intentions? Is it to be blessed? Now we see why you're cursed. What are your intentions? To grow spiritually? Well, now we see why you're growing spiritually. But what's your intentions? To grow spiritually so you can reap carnally? Okay, now we see why you're getting cut off and why your growth is getting stunted. See, it's all these things where we got to be very careful. Yes, your eye should be on a goal. Yes, you should have a vision. But that shouldn't be the only reason why you do the will of the Most High. Where we at?
Galatians chapter 6 verse 9.
Go ahead. Read it again.
And let us not be weary in well-doing.
Remember, what we do, we're doing good works. That's why when we read up in that Titus, and it talks about being reported of good works and constant works, we doing a good work, man. Y'all got to see that. Go ahead.
For in due season we shall reap, if we faint not.
If we faint not, what you got? Go ahead.
Give me 1 Maccabees 3:43 real quick. Just to drop this, because a lot of times, these scriptures come out, but do we, we understand we're doing this work to cleanse our spirit, but do we see the bigger picture though? A lot of times when you see the bigger picture, you understand why we suffer. You understand why we have to be tried. We understand why, because we're going to be an example for others, man. Others is going to be looking at us. It's not just about us, our household, my dog, my sister. No, it's about the Israelite family. Hebrew Israelites. Read that.
1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 43. they said one to another.
It's talking about, this is, I believe this is Judas Maccabeus. Read.
Let us restore the decayed state of our people.
See, our people is decayed, man. That's why the works that we do have to be in a positive and righteous mind frame, man. Because we're trying to restore our people's decayed mind frames, their decayed bodies. What you gotta say?
Like the guy from the mall this morning.
Who was that?
You know what I'm talking about? The guy from the mall.
Which one?
The worker dude that got kicked out.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, Judah gone. PCP, meth, whatever he may have been on. We could have been on some, you know, some. Get the hell out of here, call the police. Nah, we feel sorry for our people, man, because of things that they go through. Keep reading.
And let us fight for our people. And let us fight for our people.
Yeah, we fight through our battles so that we can continue to help our people, man. It's not about just us. That's why Christ is going to come back when we all get right, man. When 144,000 get sealed, we understand why we're doing what we're doing. Christ is returning. But it takes love. It takes understanding of why we're doing it. It's not about us. Read.
And the sanctuary.
And the sanctuary. Read.
Verse 44.
That's actually it. But that's what we're here to do. Restore the decayed estate. You know, and that's why we can't lose our confidence like these scriptures keep saying. That's why we got to be consistent in our example in ourselves, because others are feeding off of us. Just like our children do. Just like our spouses do. But more importantly, those that are without in the world, the wisdom that they don't have, they see that from us. So when we show them that weak example, when we show them that half-butt, that half-butt will to do something, they see that and they pick that up. We can't do that, man, because it's bigger than just us. It's bigger than rap, baby. It's bigger than our world.
Yeah, like we went into Judah. It says the heart. The heart of your brethren, the sanctuary, the altar, the house, it rests upon us. So this is the things that we got to see, that our diligence, we had an example of diligence that we got to follow. Why? So that the next man that comes in can see your example and follow it. The next sister that comes in and sees your example, they can follow it. What's the point of having people come in to see whack, garbage, inconsistent, double-minded examples?
Right.
All you're going to have is a double-minded ass school.
Right. You know what I'm thinking though too, even with that, as a people, we don't know how to grow. We don't know how to build because we've been so individually separated from each other. All we know is me.
We've been individualized.
Yeah, me. Mm-hmm. See, you don't understand about the importance of being an example. Why? Because you was never an example. You was an example on the block, selling rocks. You weren't an example for being righteous, standing up for righteousness, enduring through hard times, because our people don't know that. We have to understand that this is building, we're on the cornerstone of Christ for righteousness, man. We're building a nation. This is really nation building. This is what nation building looks like. Everybody's like, black consciousness. What is black consciousness? Black power. This is black power. This is Mexican Issachar power, Northern Kingdom power. Building and righteousness, but we have to understand that it's just more than us, you know. But I understand it because our mind states aren't really ingrained in the Bible. We're not ingrained in the order, the doctrine of how things are. That's why we have to understand what's going on here to build up, man. It's beautiful when you look at it and you see, because it's right here. The platform is here for greatness. It's here for all the things that we want: the kingdom, gold chains, the jewelry. We can take it, but we gotta have unity. Cats can't do it individually. Where that's at?
You got to be diligent to take it, though. You can't just like give up because you didn't get it the first time you tried. It's like, man, I went to take the kingdom, but Satan said no. So you know what? I give up. Nah. Go to Hebrews 13 and verse 4. Somebody else get 1 Thessalonians 1 and verse 3. And we'll end it there. Right on time. Hebrews 3 and verse 14. Yeah, 3 and 14 Hebrews.
Hebrews chapter 3 and verse 14.
Uh-huh.
For we are made partakers of Yahushua.
Read.
If we hold the beginning of our confidence.
Wait, so we're made, this is the only way we can be made partakers of Christ, man. We got to hold what?
The beginning of our confidence.
Go ahead.
Steadfast unto the end.
He that endureth unto the end. Well, you got to be steadfast with it. 1 Thessalonians 1 and verse 3.
1 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
remembering without ceasing your work of faith.
Wait, your what?
Your work of faith. And labor of love.
And your what?
Labor of love.
Come on.
And patience of hope.
And your what?
Patience of hope.
So you got to have faith, love, patience, hope. Go ahead.
In our Lord, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Read.
In the sight of Yahweh and our Father.
Read verse 4.
Knowing, brethren, beloved, your election of Yahweh.
This is how you keep your and make your election sure. Through remembering without ceasing your work of faith. So we got to remember what the job is. Like we just read in Maccabees. It's about restoring our people back to health. It's about getting Ezekiel, the dry bones. It's about getting them dry bones wet. It's about revival of our people, our nation. That's the work. So if you got anything else in your mind about what the work is, you got it twisted. The work is waking our people the hell up, not learning the Bible just so you can get rich. That's not the work. Or just learn the Bible for yourself. You wake it up? No. The work is getting the Bible and staying the course to be the example for somebody else. You know why? Because somebody was the example for you. Nobody walked into this school and there was nobody here. There was somebody here to show you the ropes. So you got to do the same. You got to keep that diligent mind. Y'all with that? Any questions?
I'll show you.
What's that?
I had two of them. The first one was this.
Well, let's make sure they ain't got no questions. Are they going to be long questions? I'm not trying to keep them over. You can hit me up, Jeremiah. Just text me. Yeah, I don't want to. This Monday. It's early in the week. Any questions on the topic? And we'll see if there's anything online, all right? Yeah, so Wirecast went out, huh? So, nah, it just went down. Yeah, we'll wait for any questions on the topic. We thank everybody for sticking in with us. The feed went down. We apologize. Not sure what happened. Again, if anybody vowed the vow to help the school with the rent and the bills, we're asking if you could get that in. So we got to pay the rent. So gotta collect that, get that off to Massa, right? Keep the lights on. So go ahead and send that in when you can. Again, we thank everybody that's been giving, that's been helping out with the school. We appreciate it. All the sisters, all the brothers that have been showing up to class, we appreciate it. Everybody online that been tuning in, sharing the YouTube, we appreciate it. And we definitely thank y'all for that. I mean, if there's nothing else in class or online, let's go ahead and salute. Say shalom. Shalom. We'll see y'all back on Wednesday, right?
Taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie. Who changed the truth for God into a lie?